Hello everybody, welcome back to that flight sim channel. This is Captain Gonzo coming to you with a quick video here. Now first off, I just want to say we've been a little quiet on the channel as of the past few weeks. On my side, I've been dealing with a lot of work, a lot of personal life stuff, and so my flight sim time is very limited. Also, ever since I installed the sim update 1, I've had countless issues to the point where I've had to reinstall the simulator and just start fresh. But anyways, let's get to the point of this video. We are indeed in the Carenado Cessna 182Q Quebec. Now, for those of you who have been flying in the flight sim franchise for several years, such as ourselves here at Flight Sim Channel, this is definitely a ported over model from the FSX and FS 2004 days. You know, that's pretty much been the standard here with Carenado, and we all know Carenado has a reputation for not being the most accurate, the most highly detailed. However, I will say their physical exterior models and even the interiors are pretty well made. I mean, this looks fantastic. And as you can see, because this is their first official release for Flight Sim 2024, we do have the interactive pre-flight items, such as the inlet plugs right here, which we'll go ahead and remove. You've got the wheel chocks. Let's go ahead and, oh, there we go. The cover went away when I removed the inlets. Did not even know that. Of course, we've got the pitot cover. Let's take that out. And let's go ahead and take those chocks out. But look at the detail on the propeller blades here. The spinner, you can see some wear and tear on the cowlings. That looks fantastic, I gotta say. So, I know, I'm gonna see the comments. Like, don't spend your money and time on Carenado, yada, yada, yada. Look, guys, I'll be honest. You know, this is ultimately... I am doing this so that you can save yourself the $20 US, if that's what you choose to do. I will say, this plane is pretty detailed. Let's take a look. For example, you can actually open the oil access door here and check your dipstick. Although that looks pretty dry, but we'll give Carenado the benefit of the doubt. At least they tried and got us some cool details. Let's tuck that away. Let's see what else we can find. I know in their photos, I saw the fuel truck parked next to the aircraft here, and I don't know if it actually works. I don't know how to do that. I'll have to figure that out. Okay, cargo door opens beautifully. It looks solid, not like the default Cessna that glitches out and you can see through it. That's good. But yeah, look at this. Look at the modeling, man. I mean, this looks great. I gotta be honest. So... I will say, as much as we complain about the lack of depth in Carenado aircraft, when it comes to GA flying, and I just want to do some sightseeing, these are my go-to planes, alright? And I don't think they behave 100% like the real-world counterpart, but they do pretty well. They've got some good sounds. This plane so far has been behaving pretty well. Look at the weared-out glass, too, as you can see the sunlight hitting off of it. That's pretty cool. So far, Carenado, not that we're surprised, but the exterior modeling and detail is pretty good. Well, is it worth the $20? I always kind of leave that question to you, our watchers and followers, to let us know what you think. For me personally, it's too soon to tell. I don't know. I've only flown this thing once in the sim since I just purchased it. And let's hop inside and let's take a look. Alright, let's go inside. There we go. So here we are in the cockpit of the Cessna 182Q Quebec. Let me look around. It looks pretty good. I mean, look at the detail. There's my co-pilot. Just kind of taking the view. Yeah, everything is functioning. Obviously, the battery is off, so I can't get the floodlights on, but they do work. Now, one thing you will notice is the lack of the Carenado EFB. And it took me a second. Right, I was looking around and I'm like, come on, man, how do I change my Garmin stack here to the 750? Well, Carenado, I guess, figured it out. And remember that on Flight Sim 2024, we've got a default EFB. So for me, I've got my V as in Victor key bind for the EFB. So let's pull it up. And you can see I'm already on the page. But what you have to do is go to the More Apps. And there you'll see the Carenado app. Now check it out. Right now we are currently running the Asobo GNS 530 and 430 stack, right? That's the default. You can see I am not a customer of the TDS 750. However, I do have the PMS. So let me see if I can switch them over. There we go. And that's it. Now we've got the 750 along with the 650. And we've got the cool features that we pay for this. Now keep in mind, you can get the free version of PMS from their website. You can even see it here on the link. It is a third-party add-on. You must download and install it in order to operate it, obviously. So you do have access to this for free. However, it will be limited. Now let's get to the startup. Right, so I've seen a few comments online about the startup. And actually, let me pause real quick. Let me change the audio. There we go. So I just lowered the audio because I tend to record with the audio at 100%, and the engine noise definitely takes over. So let's go ahead and pull up the aircraft checklist. So we'll go to aircraft checklists. We'll say the pre-flight is done. Let's go to before starting engine. The pre-flight has been completed. Parking brake is set. There's the parking brake lever, as we can find in most Cessna products. Fuel selector to both. That'll be the selector right here. So that's left, both, and right. So you want to make sure you're on both, pointing forward. Avionics master switch should be off. You can see that switch right here. Make sure it is off. Brakes test. And then we'll test them by pushing the pedals and set the parking brake. They're already set, so let's release the parking brake. You can see those brakes moving. Perfect. Cowl flaps. Make sure they are open. They are found here. So down is closed. Up is open. You want to make sure they are open before starting your engine, as it will allow the engine to dissipate heat better and breathe a little better. Circuit breakers all pushed in. You can see them right here. They're all pushed in. I don't think we have any on the right hand side, on the co-pilot side. Nope, that's good. Before starting engine checklist is complete. So now for the starting engine checklist, let's go ahead and throw that mixture full rich. Prop RPM, max RPM. Carburetor heat should be in. Right, we have it pushed in. There it is. Throttle open about 1/2 inch. And then it wants us to prime the engine up to 3 strokes. None if the engine is warm. So this will be the very first flight of the day here in this sunny afternoon in Florida. So let's go ahead and prime it. And there's the 3rd stroke. And I just realized my ignition was on both. So let me put that back to off. Okay, we've primed that engine master switch for the alternator and battery. Come on. Let's get our beacon light on. Let people around us know that we are about to fire up. Make sure your prop area is clear. Clear left, clear right. And we'll set the ignition to start. And we'll monitor oil pressure and temperature. Now, here's where I've noticed an issue, and I've read online as well. People are saying that there's a bug and the aircraft will not start from a cold and dark environment unless you do the Control E shortcut. So let's put it to the test. Let's see if I can start this thing by myself. Here we go. Clear prop. Yeah, that's a hung start. Let me try it again. Let me give it a second. Okay, no joy. So I'm going to have to do the old Control E method. Let's see how that goes. Well, that's disappointing. That kind of takes away from the immersion and experience, but it is Carenado after all, right? So what can we expect? All right, well, either way, everything seems to be functioning nominally. Let's go ahead and set RPMs down to about 1,000. Let's go ahead and get our transponder on. I'm going to press the B key. Keep in mind I have my keyboard commands to the Flight Sim 2020 bindings. That'll set our altimeter. And again, this is going to be a quick review, nothing crazy, nothing too in-depth. I just want to see how the aircraft behaves and kind of give you guys an overall feel for the airplane before you commit to spending your hard-earned money. Meanwhile, here we are. I will say, ever since the update on the simulator, finally we've got some nicely lit displays, such as the PMS 750 here for the GTN, and it looks great. I gotta say, it looks perfectly bright for the environment. So no more of that dimmed out 750 or avionics. So let's go ahead and take the parking brake off and let's taxi for departure. I'm gonna kill this ramp worker. Oh my god, I barely missed him. Okay. So we'll be departing to the northeast here on whatever runway this is here at Ocean Reef. This is 07 Foxtrot Alpha. That is the airport identifier, and the scenery is by Astralis, or Astralis, however you say it. So what I'll do is I'll come up here to the end of the runway, turn around facing the wind, and then we'll do a quick run up just to see how the aircraft behaves. Alright, here we are. Let's get that parking brake back on. Let me hide this yoke. There we go. Mixture is full rich. Prop handle full forward. Let's see if it has a run-up checklist. So before takeoff, let's see. Yep, so here we go. So doors are closed and locked. Parking brake is set. Flight controls, let's check. Make sure that they are free and clear. They feel good. Okay, just looking around here. Flight instruments set. So we've got our altimeter set to the local altimeter. Everything checks out. Looking at my HSI here, horizontal saturation indicator, verifying it makes sense. Looking at our magnetic compass there, looks pretty good. Fuel selector, make sure it is set to both. Mixture is rich. You can see that red knob pushed in. Trims set, so we're going to verify our elevator trim. Make sure it is aligned with that white triangle for your takeoff. Then we're going to set our throttle to 1700 RPM. So you want to monitor your tachometer down here. So here we go. Using your throttle, gradually increase. There's 17, and now we're going to do the magnetos check. So we're going to check, and according to the checklist, we should drop about 150 RPM when switching magnetos from both to left or right. So here we go, starting with the left magneto. Yep, just shy of about 100, going back to both. Going to the right magneto. That checks out. Let's go back to both. When switching magnetos between left and right positions, difference in the engine RPM must not exceed 50 RPM. That has been confirmed. Back to both on the mags. Prop RPM lever. We're going to cycle it through complete range and return to high. That checks out. Now we got to check the carburetor heat, right? So we are going to expect a natural decrease in RPM. So here's your carb heat. Let's go ahead and pull it. There's the expected drop in RPM. That's pretty normal, about 75 to close to 100 RPM. And again, from the cold position, fully pushed in, set the carburetor heat to hot, fully pulled back. And check that a decrease of 100 RPM ensues. Checked. Let's go ahead and throw that carb heat back forward, turn it off. Vacuum gauge, we gotta check it. Where's my vacuum gauge? Let's see if I can find it. I'm gonna have to highlight it. Ah, wow, right there. Tiny, I couldn't even see it. The EFB was blocking it. So we are in the green, but keep in mind we are not in full power, so we are good. And now we're gonna adjust our throttle to be back in about 1000 RPM. There we go. Radio set. Yeah, sure, why not? We're all good. We're not going to talk to anybody. Autopilot is off. You can see your Bendix King 140 there. That's off. Flaps 0 to 20 degrees. We'll keep the flaps up. This is a short runway, however, plenty of runway to get this airplane nice and ready for flight. So landing lights and taxi lights as required. Let's go ahead and throw those on. They're back here. Okay. And then we'll release the parking brake. And then all we have here is an after takeoff checklist. So after takeoff, we'll maintain airspeed between 85 to 95 knots indicated during the climb. Power, we'll have to set it to 23 inches of mercury and maintain our RPMs at 2400 RPM. So you can see right here, there's your tachometer for your RPM and then your manifold pressure. We'll make sure the fuel selector is still on both. Mixture is still rich. Cow flaps, maintain them open. Flaps up once we are climbing, but again, we're going to do a flaps 0 takeoff. And then landing and taxi lights as required. Alright, enough fun. Let's go ahead and get ready for takeoff here. One thing I will say that I find incredible about this plane is the turning radius. I mean, I can turn this thing on a dime. I don't think that's too accurate, but I'm going to show you. Here, I'm just going to go full right rudder. That is pretty phenomenal. I don't think these airplanes turn that tight, but never flown the 182. Nonetheless, the 182 Quebec that we're flying here. So anyways, let's go ahead and set our brakes here. Let's go ahead and slowly introduce power. Monitoring engine instruments. Cylinder head temperatures in the green. Oil temperature green. Oil pressure green. Take a look at that vacuum gauge. There we go. Good suction. Let's go altitude reporting mode on and coming off the brakes now. Airspeed's slowly coming alive. There's 55, 60, pitching up. And we're flying, so pretty smooth. Oh, got a little carried away there with my yoke. Trying to zoom in or zoom out. So again, now we got a pitch to maintain that 85 to 95 knots. Let's add some pitch trim. Let's start dropping that manifold pressure. There's about 23 inches of mercury. Let's bring back that RPM to about 2,400 RPM on the climb out. And there we go. This thing climbs pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, pretty good. So let's go ahead and get a small little bank here. Let's go to the east. Look at the lighting on the analog gauges. Looks pretty good. And because this is a quick review video, I'm just going to turn around here and just put it back on this runway we took off from Ocean Reef Club. So we're going to enter a right downwind. Take a look outside. Looking pretty good. There's about 1,000 feet, so we're going to try to level off here. Kind of tight on this traffic pattern, but it's okay. Just want to see how the aircraft handles. So once again, guys, of course, this is a Carenado product, so nothing special, nothing fancy, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good for these type of flights where you just want to do some sightseeing. Once again, Carenado is one of my go-tos. The planes just feel okay, I guess. That's the way I describe it. They respond how I expect them to, and that's all I want, right? I'm not expecting full fidelity on these airplanes, but you might have a different opinion, so let me know what you think. Let's go ahead and set up for this approach. So let's go ahead and reduce power, or the throttle. Let's make sure our propeller RPM is full forward, mixture is full rich. We can drop our first notch of flaps up to 140 knots indicated. We're about 110 right now. That's good. Let's go ahead and begin a right base. Watching my airspeed, we're already in the white band there, the top end, or our VFE for flaps extended for our landing config. See if I can spot the runway. Let's get another notch of flaps. And I think I'm going to overshoot this one. Oh, there it is. I got the pappy. Okay, let me level off. You can see that runway blends in really well with its environment, so it's kind of tricky to see it. Thankfully, the pappy lights are active. One white, one red. And here we go. Let's get flaps down for landing. And one of the comments I did see was that people were complaining about the behavior of the aircraft with flaps. In my case, I am not having any issues whatsoever. The aircraft slows down. It wants to kind of balloon up, which is expected. Remember, the flaps will increase your drag as well as increase lift in slower airspeeds, allowing you to set up for a good approach. Right now, we're doing about 65 knots. This is pretty good for the 182. Let's try to maintain that descent rate of about 450 feet a minute. You can see our vertical speed indicator here. Maintaining that airspeed. Oh, a little bumpy. Okay. And let's see how we can land this thing. Throttle idle. Just let the airspeed bleed off. A little flare. And just like that, we're back on the ground. Let's go ahead and clean the flaps up here. Let's find a good parking spot right around here somewhere along the fence. Turn off our landing light. Nice trees there, just growing right over the fence. I love it. Alright, we've come back to the ramp. Let's pull the parking brake. Let's open these windows. Okay, we can turn lights off. Avionics can come off. Let's pull that mixture. Propeller handle, or lever all the way back. There we go. We can turn the fuel selector to off. Let's go ahead and kill or turn off our ignition from both back to off. And finally, kill the battery and alternator. Let's open the door. Let our co-pilot step out. See if he wants to go do a walk around or a post-flight. Nope. Oh. Okay, buddy. Wow. So that's a statement there. It looks like he wants to stay on the aircraft. That's perfectly fine. All right. Well, I'm going to finish off this video with some closing thoughts and let you guys decide in the comments what you think and is it worth the $20 US. Well, what can I say? We all know it. It's a Carenado product after all, but the question remains, is it worth it? Is it worth the $20 US right now available in the Flight Sim 2024 marketplace? Well, I'm going to answer this to two different crowds. The first crowd is our newer generation of flight simulators who we've always wanted to go after, especially as they transition into this world of flight simming and flying overall. If you've been flying the default aircraft and you want to step up just a little bit more to perhaps a little bit more detail, a little bit more features that are custom and unique to the aircraft, then Carenado products are definitely the way to go. I know. Some of you are going to scream at me and tell me, no, Captain Gonzo, don't say that. You're just shilling for Carenado. I am not, I promise. We're not paid. We're not sponsored by anybody. And so I say this based on my opinion and based on my very minimal experience in real life flying as a private pilot. So the Carenado Cessna 182 Quebec, if you are a new simmer and you're looking to make that first purchase for a pay-away aircraft just to get your feet wet per se, then definitely give it a try, give it a shot, and I promise you, you'll find certain things that you just don't get with default aircraft. Now, for my other crowd, the more experienced and seasoned veterans of flying, such as myself and Captain Flako, who is the founder of this channel, is this the right product for you? Maybe not. You guys by now are probably used to the quality of black square, the detail intense aircraft that really require your attention all the way through. Then yeah, this aircraft is probably not the product for you, so you're probably not missing out on much if you decide to abstain from purchasing the Carenado Cessna 182 Quebec. However, let me just make this argument. Again, like I use the Carenado products, if you're looking for some quick VFR flying and just having some fun, and you want that extra touch of detail, then I think the Carenados are definitely worth it, and the 182 Quebec does not fall short. So I'll leave this open to discussions. I know I can already see the comments coming. I can only imagine what people are going to say below, so feel free to drop your comments. Guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and comment. Let us know how we're doing. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, and we are getting there shortly, and we can't wait to hit that milestone. I promise you, we have not forgotten about the channel. We're just dealing with personal life stuff. But when we have the free time, we come and do this. And remember, we make these purchases to hopefully save some of you people some money, or kind of give you that boost in confidence that you're not making a wrong decision by purchasing. So guys, thanks again for watching. This is Captain Gonzo with that Flight Sim channel, wishing you all smooth landings and happy flying, and we'll see you very soon.